House Democrats explode in recriminations as liberals lash out at moderates. The Washington Post. In a closed-door session, a frustrated Speaker Nancy Pelosi D. California lashed out at about but Ocasio-Cortez DNY. The unquestioned Corbin Trent, a spokesman for Ocasio-Cortez, said she told her colleagues that Democrats who side with Republicans are putting themselves on a list. She said that when activists ask her why she had to vote for a gun safety bill that also further empowers an agency that forcibly injects kids with psychotropic drugs, they're going to want a list of names and she's going to give it to them, Trent said, referring to U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement. Triggering the blow-up was Wednesday's votes on a bill to expand federal background checks for gun purchases. 26 moderate Democrats joined Republicans in amending the legislation, adding a provision requiring that ICE be notified if an illegal immigrant seeks to purchase a gun. That infuriated liberals, who have railed against ICE's role in conducting mass deportations, and embarrassed Democratic leaders who couldn't keep their members in line on a high-profile bill. The Democratic infighting reflects a fractured caucus and diverse freshman class, with dozens of moderates elected in districts that President Trump won in 2016 at odds with hard-charging liberals. The split has exposed Republicans have capitalized on the divide, using legislative tactics to split politically vulnerable moderates from the party leadership. In the coming months, while the party's left wing has gotten outsized attention for its aggressive moves to push Democrats in their direction, the splinter faction is made up of the party's moderates, many of them freshmen taking their first congressional votes. They insist they are not going to be dissuaded from voting with their districts, and many are warning that majority control is at stake. It's this class of members that got elected that are the reason we have the majority, said Republic Stephanie Murphy, inside the Democratic meeting, one of those freshmen New Republic. Hochitl Torres, several are also pushing to reform or eliminate the procedural tactic that has prompted the uproar. The motion to recommit, which essentially gives the minority party one final opportunity to amend a bill moments before it comes up for a final vote. Pelosi trained much of her closed-door frustrations on veteran lawmakers, noting that some held seats on coveted committees. What is this? Later, when one lawmaker talked about the peril of persistently voting with party leaders on these motions, Pelosi responded that the party stood ready to help team players. We have a massive MASH operation and, frankly, it should be there for those who have the courage to take the vote. Publicly and privately, Pelosi has urged members to treat the Republican motions as procedural feints that should be routinely ignored. Vote no. Republicans, during their past 8-year majority, maintained remarkable discipline on these procedural votes. Democrats did not. The fact of the matter is, it didn't affect our ability to pass substantive legislation that was very positive and had a positive effect on the American people, Hoyer said, recalling the last Democratic majority and playing down the importance of those votes. But others say routine Democratic defections threaten to have more serious consequences when the party considers more sensitive bills and perhaps has a Democratic Senate and President to pass them into law. Already some said, people need to be aware that coming down the road will be gotcha amendments that actually gut the bill, and if we want to be able to move legislation forward, we're going to have to figure out a way to deal with it, said House Rules Committee Chairman Jim McGovern D. Massachusetts. The philosophical differences between the three leaders have frustrated some incoming freshmen, who are already bewildered by the practice of voting on the surprise Republican amendments. Members typically, we hear lots of different things from lots of different members of our leadership about their views on this issue, and they should get together and figure it out, said Republic. Elissa Slotkin. A few Democrats said Thursday that the motion to recommit should be jettisoned entirely. It's archaic, but others in party leadership were more wary of eroding one of the few tools handed to the minority in an institution where the majority typically enjoys absolute power. What goes around? Hoyer has offered support for changing the procedure surrounding motions to recommit, giving members more time to review the minority amendment. But Republican leaders, meanwhile, warned against any changes. House Never once did we discuss, did we bring up the option or even entertain the idea, McCarthy said about the GOP's past majority. Less than 60. You are now subscribed to. Please enter a valid email address. You might also like.
Raindrop, drop top smoking, no cooking the hot pot. Fucking on your bitch, yeah, that. Looking up, open the park,